Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to do the machine on the Vulnhub, which is Coffee Addicts. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine. I think if you're a beginner, this machine is good for you, and which is very straightforward. Of course, in this video, I'd like to showcase a variety of techniques. For example, how to do the web application enumeration, how to do the enumeration for the WordPress, how to get the initial foothold on the target, and then how to use John Ripper to crack the password. So there will be a lot to take. Without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch into the Linux VM. Above all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. As always, the utility would be net discover. As you can see over here, net discover can help us to recognize its IP address as 111. And next, we need to do the port scanning with a map. To save time, I've already done that earlier. So for now, we just get out the result of the map scanning. As you can see over here, I used the options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. The IP address, the IP address stays the same, okay? So from the map scanning, we can tell that the target has two open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service or secure shell service, and also the version information. I don't think we can find any vulnerability with relation to this specific version of OpenSSH. The next one is 80, which is running HTTP service and also the version information. As you know, this is Apache 2. So what are we going to do next? We need to do the enumeration with the HTTP service. So sorry, I'd like to do some processing. We need to remove the existing entries in the host file. Make sure this will not affect our penetration. Okay, so now we need to begin our enumeration with HTTP service manually. Let's launch our browser to do the manual enumeration first. And we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Yeah, we got the page back. And here, we need to add the coffee addicts.thm to our host file. Of course, no problem. We can do that. We can copy this domain name, and then we can use echo. Press enter. So now I think, of course, before I try to access the domain name, I'd like to check its source code. I do not want to miss anything important. And also, I'd like to check whether this site has robots file. No, not found. Next, we can use Nicto. If you have already followed my channel, you know that I always use Nicto to my first to enumerate, make automatic enumeration. But in this case, nothing we can find. And next, also we can use GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. And we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Sorry, sorry, this is my mistake. We can use GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. The word list, GoBuster, directory, extension options, back. Of course, in this case, the GoBuster cannot find anything else except the default page. Okay, to save time of this video, I will not wait. So I think we cannot get anything from the web application which is running on the IP address we need to access through its domain name. And now we can use the browser to do the manual enumeration first. Press enter. Yeah, we got the page back. So your website has been hacked by this guy. No system is safe with error causer in charge. Also at the bottom we can get the message we can copy, and apparently this message is encoded, and then we can use the base 64 to decode. Yeah, we got the page back. Sorry, we got the result back. And here I think this should be the first flag. Of course, this is not our objective at all. So now what we can do, also we need to check its source code. Sometimes the source code can give us important information, the code from here. But because this is just a website, the template of the source code, but this one cannot give us anything important, I think. Okay, so now what can we do? Next, we can use the Nicto to do the enumeration. We can put, and we can paste in, not Nicto. And we can copy the domain name rather than IP address. So we need to do the enumeration again. As you can see, the Nicto can discover very important directory, which is WordPress. And we can use the browser to access this WordPress. And the Lily Pip and Coffee compilations. So I think it's obvious that we need to do the specific enumeration with this WordPress application or installations, okay? So the utility I'd like to use is WordPress scan URL, and we can copy. Yeah, I'd like to URL, and we can copy the URL from browser and put the option of E, which stands for enumeration. Press enter. So it's done, and the one user has been identified, the Gus. So maybe we can open up our notebook. The username is Gus. So next, of course, we just follow the procedure or the methodology of the to crack the password of this user Gus, and we can use the locu as word list to crack. Of course, when I did the machine the first time, we cannot crack the password, and also we can try to create our custom word list by queue. There are 250 words in total. Next, we can use this new or custom word list to crack the password for this user, Gus. However, still not successful. Next, we can try to scan or discover the vulnerable plugins, right? Help. And we can use this option. Of course, I always use the help to get the option name, because I cannot remember everything, right? So we can use the wscan URL, and we can put the option, the plugins detection mixed. So we will use both aggressive and passive way to discover plugins. Let's press enter. When we try to handle or deal with the WordPress application, what I've already done is the standard methodology. Okay, of course, in this case, we cannot get anything, any vulnerable plugins. So to be honest, when I did the machine the first time, I was stuck here. Actually, another very important technique, especially when we do the CTF-like machines, we need to review, or we need to take a look at the site itself. For example, like a post, for example, like comments. Sometimes such content like a post or comment themselves will reveal something important. So let me show you. We can go to the website, not website, the WordPress installation, and the two blocks or two posts. And the first one, if we click, and yesterday, blah, 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 and here we got this information, and we click the two comments. This user, Lucy, asks, is that your password? Of course, because why we need to pay attention? Just now we have already found the username, and also the username should be possibly the administrator is Gus. And this guy, Lucy, asked the Gus, is that your password? And the Gus replied, saying maybe. So maybe this is the password for the Gus user, and we can copy. And normally we need to remove the space between each word, okay? And now we try to use this password to log into the WordPress administrator panel. Press enter, and the username is Gus, and the password, we can copy the password to see whether this is working. Login is correct. And so from the left, again, we can confirm our early guess. This user should be the administrator. So what can we do next? We need to get the initial foothold. And this can be done by several ways. The easiest way for me is to go to the appearance editor, sim editor, and go to the 404 template, and we can remove existing code with this template, and this can be replaced by our PHP reverser file. I've already created this file. Ready? As you can see over here, you can get it from the Pentest Monkey website. After you download, you can change the IP address to meet with your own requirement, your own environment. And if you want, you also can change to whatever port number you are comfortable with. For me, I always change the port number to 555. Okay, so now we can copy the entire code of this PHP reverser file. We can copy. And we can copy, and we can put in here, and then we can click update file. However, we got the error, unable to communicate back with the site to check for fatal errors, so that PHP change was reverted, which is fine. It means that this way cannot work at all for this machine. So next alternative for us to do, or to get the initial foothold is to launch our Metasploit console. Okay, then we can search the WordPress admin module. Just one, I think. Then we can use this module. And the payload, we just leave it default one. And then we can show options. And we can set localhost to our Kali Linux. And we need to set the port number to 555. And we can set the remote host to our domain name. And we can copy this domain name from the browser. And we can put in here. And also we need to set the target URI to the WordPress. And also we need to set the username to Gus. Set the password. The password, we can copy it from the notebook. I think we can show options to make sure we have already configured all options, all required options properly. And then we can run. It's working. The Metasploit session has been opened. Next, we need to get the command shell session, and we need to spawn the bash session. Python 2 is not there. Python 3 is fine, and then we can use Python 3, and then we can import pty module, spawn the bash session. Now we need to do the local enumeration. The two normal users, bat byte user, and we can list files. And I think we have the SSH directory. Even we can get the private key, right? So, of course, we need to download or we need to copy this data and create the private key. Although I think you know that no authorized keys there. So I think we cannot, we cannot use the private key to log in or to connect to the targets. Okay, so maybe I like to zoom in the terminal, so this would be much clearer for you. And we need to change mode to private key, and then we can, we can try to connect to the target. Sorry, not this one. The private key, bat byte, and then followed by the IP address of the target. However, this private key is protected by passphrase. No problem. We can use SSH2 John to convert the private key to the hash value, and then we can use the John the Ripper to crack it. Of course, I've already done that earlier, and John the Ripper will not go the cracking process again. So for now, we just get out the result. The password is very simple. So we can copy this one to, so the bat byte password. Of course, this password is used by the passphrase of the private key, okay? So maybe I'd like to do the more enumeration, and we can go to the home directory and go to the Gus directory, and then we can get the user flag without a problem, and also we can cut out the readme. So hello admin, as you can see, your site has been hacked. Any attempt of fixing is futile, as we removed you from the sudoers and we changed the root password. All right, so how to do? Maybe also we can try to upload the Nimpiers shell script to the target, and we can copy from my two sets directory the Nimpiers, and we need to upload this file to the target, and then we can use wget to upload. Very straightforward, right? And Nimpiers done, and then we can make it executable, and then we can execute this script. When we try to make a lateral movement or make privilege escalation, in most cases, we can use this script to do the automatic enumeration because it can review a lot of information about the target from various aspects. For example, like SUID, binary information, the capabilities information, the process information. Okay, it's done. And then we can scroll back to see whether we can find something interesting. SUID. Cron job information. Also, there's some local exploits, but I don't think I will use these exploits to our advantage. I mean, to elevate our privilege. Okay? So, just now, we have already know that the passphrase for the private key, this private key belongs to the user byte. So maybe the password for the user is the same. Let's try it, and we can byte, press enter, and we can use the password. It does work, right? And then we can try to so here some commands, public change mode, WordPress. Okay, here run the sudo .shell. We need to go to the opt, bat byte, and even of course this is written in C++, and we can cut out this code. It looks like this is, of course, the shell is the executable or the binary of this file, of the CPP file. And it looks like this is the infinite loop, and then this line define the string, the command, and then we'll wait for the user's input, and this input will be, or the command will be put into the variable. Okay, command, and then we'll do the copy, and then we'll execute the command. Okay, let's run it. So we just use the sudo shell and the password. Even now we have already, however, we got something interesting, weird. We cannot do anything, right? Although from here we have already know that we have already become the root user, but we cannot execute anything. And because we just input one command, right? This one, the command, this command, and this we are now in the infinite loop. Maybe we can try, for example, sudo bin bash. I'm not sure. I think this can work, and then we can go to the root directory. We can cut out the root flag without a problem. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.